The group says the people of the Middle East long for greater freedom and have proven they will fight for it. It is urging President Obama to abandon regime change as practiced by the Bush administration in Iraq and to accept the democratic process even when it produces victories for Islamists such as Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Radwan Masmoudi is president of the Center for Study of Islam and Democracy. His group initiated the idea for a letter to President Obama. He says the first American mistake was invading Iraq.
The other mistake was backing away from democracy or stopping to talk about democracy when Islamist parties, fared well in the elections in Egypt, in Palestine, in Lebanon, in Morocco. They got scared, and I think that's a mistake, that democracy is a process and we have to be patient and we have to let it run its course.
U.S. policy toward mainstream Islamist groups that have renounced violence and abide by democratic rules should be reviewed, Masmoudi says. Professor Sa'ad-Din Ibrahim is an Egyptian reformer who spent several years in an Egyptian prison for criticizing President Hosni Mubarak.
We are making the argument that legitimate American interests could be served by allying with the people of the Muslim world, with the people of the Arab world, rather than with dictators, because alliance with dictators is a very flimsy proposition, and it only leads to negative results in the medium and the long run.
The Egyptian government has been cracking down on the Muslim Brotherhood, arresting hundreds of its members, even though the group renounced violence years ago and is the largest opposition group in the parliament. Washington has been muted in its criticism of Cairo, a major U.S. ally. Ibrahim says, in many countries, including Turkey, Indonesia, and Morocco, the right to participate in elections has moderated Islamist parties and enhanced their commitment to democratic norms. Larry Diamond directs the Center on Democracy and Rule of Law at Stanford University. He says President Obama should match his words with deeds.
And in the end, Arab peoples are going to judge our message more by what we do than just by the words that come out of the State Department or the Secretary of the State or even the President.
Michelle Dunn at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace says the United States has the tools to push for democracy.
But the United States also has ways, through private diplomacy, through assistance programs, through public statements, etc., in which to pursue improvements for the citizens of these countries.
The State Department says it is reviewing the overall policy toward the Middle East, but spokesman Robert Wood said recently Washington continues to have an interest in promoting democracy in the region. But the group says by supporting human, civil, and political rights of peoples in the Middle East and the Muslim world, the United States will be on the right side of history. Mohammed Al-Shinawi, VOA News.